disaster reduction cells based in Mumbai head office. We do a lot of capacity building program for the school children and ULB. What we found that the capacity building at the local government is very much needed, because in India also we have the authority, we have the NDMA, which is a separate agencies. But when we talk about the DRR, the urban local bodies generally they do not have those kind of a capacity for handling all those things. But my understanding and our organization understanding is that the ULB is more closer to the when disaster comes. So they are the key player who immediately come on the job. So that one component I have seen one of the part, but I think we more focus on those capacity building programs. We have been doing along with the NIDM a lot of capacity building program for the ULBs. Recently also in the February we have done the zone-wise training programs. We also prepared, did some of the study after the Mumbai flood along with the NIDM, the reason and all those components. The other part is that we have also working on the smart cities programs. We are also working on the Amrut missions and all those components. But what we found that the DRR component should be the part of this planning phase, and it should be integrated with the ongoing programs and projects. We've generally looked at DRR as a separate component in most of the ULB, as we always understand. But the thing is that DRR is also part of the smart cities. When you do not have the DRR, how you are going to develop the whole smart cities? And when you talk about the Amrut, we are working with the more than 12 state Amrut missions in almost half part of the India, and doing a lot of capacity building programs, because more than 50,000 ULB's staff has to be trained. But we don't see those components actually. We talk about the water, sewerage, sanitation, all those components, but the DRR components are somehow missing. So I think those things has to be included in almost all the ULB's programs and urban renewal missions, what we call, or urban new agenda. So these are the messages. So thank you.
Thank you, Rafi. It's also useful. Uh, can we move also to the second objective? What will be the input to the global platform on DRR that will take place in May 2017 in Mexico? I just want to share with you from the UCLG, United Cities and Local Governments, at the global level, at the world level, we have a disaster risk reduction task force that is led by City of Geneva, and so we have a because I'm representing Asia Pacific, so we have a close coordination with the global level on all the initiatives that other regional sections have. So I think it's important that we can identify later who will be representing Asia Pacific, to the global platform on DRR that will be taking place in May 2017 in Mexico. I think we need, of course, strong mayors, strong leaders to be present there. And if you have any inputs, because we still have another maybe 30 minutes to discuss, we can also discuss also some other things like roadmap, whatever. We already discussed some, but if you want to highlight more, that's also fine. We have just another 30 minutes to conclude. We still have a lot of times. 30 minutes is a lot. So anyone want to uh, provide inputs on the 2017 global platform? I've seen uh, Violeta Seva here with us, and she's from Makati. Thank you for joining with us. And I think you are quite familiar with the global platform on DRR. So anyone want to provide inputs? One more thing about the statement, you can also put in writing and you can pass it on to me and also my colleagues and also colleague from UNHDR here. So you can send by email, or you can also write a piece of paper and pass it on to me. So any more things to discuss about global platform? If you are interested to participate, please also let us know. Because Asia Pacific, as you know, is the largest section, largest region. We have a big countries, China, India, Indonesia, and we have to speak up more
And as you know, disaster risk reduction management have been priority of many countries in Asia Pacific. So we have to make sure that, again, I want to repeat that we need thousands of local governments here in Asia Pacific to commit. So you all have responsibility to make that happen, because we need a very strong support commitment from different stakeholders. All stakeholders are very important in making these things happen. So any more intervention for the global platform? Any more? Anything? Roadmap? Abilas is here. Abilas? Jonas Diar is here? No? Okay. Okay, those who have not spoken, please do so. We still have some time because we don't have break, so we have all. Yes, please.
Hello, good morning. Lilet from Makati City, and I'm an advocate for the UNISDR Making Cities Resilient campaign. So I'd like to encourage all of the local governments represented here, and also those representing national government and state governments, for instance, to encourage their cities to be part of the campaign. Actually, the city of Makati was part of this campaign since 2010. And this campaign provides a lot of resources. Like, we released a handbook called handbook for mayors. And it outlines 10 essentials on how to make a city resilient. So all you have to do as mayor or as a planner or as an office to check where you are in terms of those 10 essentials. And I'd like to share with you that the city of Makati has really progressed a lot in terms of disaster risk management from that time on, because it provides us with some guides. And we also produced what we call the local government self-assessment tool that you can use every year to check where you are. So you will know where you are weak, where you are strong, and then you can plan accordingly. For the global platform in Mexico City, new tools will come out, like what we call now the local urban indicators on your progress on disaster risk management as local government units. So again, I would encourage, I think the global platform is open to everyone. You can just register and be part of it. Actually, it is already online, announced online. So again, I encourage all of you to please participate in fora like this. AMCDRR, fora organized by our development partners, UN agencies, civil society. They're very active, and it really provides additional resources for local governments. We all know that we have limited capacity, yeah? Maybe just a few or a handful of technical people working with us, limited financial resources. So we really need to tap external resources. I was just in the other session on gender mainstreaming in the other room, because they really pulled me there to talk about what are the needs of local governments. And I found out that there are so many programs going around, but they're only able to reach very few local governments. So my challenge to them is, come on, let us reach as many local governments as possible through the local authority associations like the United Cities and Local Governments in Asia Pacific and the CityNet. We have a disaster cluster that is based, Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office of CityNet, that is based in Yokohama City. I can see some Japanese friends here, so let us use this particular local authority associations as our link. If you are not yet members, I encourage you to register and be a member of UCLG ASPAC. They provide a lot of opportunities for us to learn. UCLG is our political and advocacy arm. So they go to the international community and ask and lobby for the interests of local governments. CityNet, on the other hand, is your more on capacity building, yeah, and projects. So in our roadmap, in the AMCDRR roadmap and the 2-year action plan, please take a look at it carefully, especially the 2-year action plan. Does it address our needs? Do you think that we will already have some headway after 2 years from now with what are stated in the 2-year action plan? If not, then I think we still have 2 more days to input. I wonder, Bernadia, whether we have really captured concrete, measurable, targeted programs and projects or actions that we want to achieve in the next 2 years. I'm sorry I was unable to really hear the conversations earlier, but I believe that local governments is now really the focal point of all of these activities going on all over the world. They talk about climate change, they talk about SDGs, talk about DRR, and really, if they do not go to the cities, if they do not work with cities, then nothing will happen. But we should remember that we need help from national government. We need help from the international community. We need help from our universities, our scientific partners, private sector. So the message really here is we as local governments should really, change our mindset and not just focus on our internal resources, but work with all the different actors in society for us to be able to really achieve what we have set as our overarching goals and objectives.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing the information. What we plan to do immediately after this, also do mapping quickly. What kind of things, initiative, activities that you have for and with local governments. Like, we have several capacity building programs also lined up for 2017 and also 2018 in which you can also participate. You mentioned also some of the works have been done. And also another thing, there are also training programs in Jeju, South Korea, addressing the importance of LGSAT and also 10 essentials, looking at the aspect of disaster risk management. So we want to compile those information so that we can share with you, then you can take the opportunity, whatever you have to participate. This is not inclusive, because we cannot have only based on the membership. So all of you can participate and also take the opportunity for taking part, and also APDRCC. I know you have been also working a lot on the disaster aspect, and we just need to compile those and do little mapping, quick mapping that we can share, and then who do what and who else can benefit on that. So then we will share with all associations, because we are quite fortunate. We link with a big number of local government associations. In Indonesia, there are 7 local government associations, and most of them, they don't talk among each other, So then how can we link with all associations? And in Thailand, you also have MNLT, Municipal League of Thailand. Philippines, you have around more than 3 associations. You have LCP, LMP, you also have a provincial level. And we are working with all subnational governments, not only cities, but also with all local governments, provinces, regencies, districts, even barangays, smaller part, villages, as you mentioned. So you all local governments are in high demand. every meeting you are requested to come, because when you look at SDGs with 17 goals, almost 65% of SDGs will not be achieved without having local actors, local governments, as important players here, without having local actions. So this is why you are given a lot of responsibilities, but you are given limited kind of mandates. So this is why it's important that as a local governments, we have to push also on the importance of decentralization. I know every country has different level of decentralization. Important is that we need a conducive environment. We don't expect central governments to give money, but what we expect is that give us mandate to be able to raise our own resources. You give a good regulation, you give a good mandate, and then we should be able to raise our own taxes. I will also join this having municipal bonds, whatever options. We are not just waiting central governments to give us money. I know that many local governments depend very much on the budget from central governments, but we want more than that. What we want is mandates. We want a mandate, we want authority, we want responsibility to be able to manage our places. I know in Nepal you don't have elected bodies at this moment. Also in Thailand, with a new regime, also there is a challenges. We know that. So and some places are fortunate. Indonesia with decentralization, Big Bang, we managed to carry out decentralization. But also we need to work much more with many others. And then what we need is that we need to have a strong local governments, not depends very much on what you don't have, but just focus what you have and working together with others to make this happen. So because you are closest to your people, when floods happen, they don't ask your central government for help. They ask mayors to help. So this is why it's important that we all work together, because disaster happens and doesn't affect only rich or poor only, but also rich people.